So the Xiaomi 12X, this is a phone that I was so excited about. When I got it, I made a video straight away talking about why I like it. But of course, we are talking about a phone that compared to its big brother, the Xiaomi 12 Pro, costs quite a bit less and therefore also has a lesser camera. But does it? Well, let's find out how the camera performs on the Xiaomi 12X. And I'm going to make, of course, a comparison between the Xiaomi 12X and, of course, the Xiaomi 12 Pro. By the way, if you like comparisons, I did already upload a video comparing the OnePlus 9 versus the OnePlus 10 Pro. Of course, we're gonna start with the main sensor, and while we are looking at images of it, let's discuss the specifications. The main sensor is a 50 megapixel sensor with a 1.9 aperture and a 1/5/6 inch sensor size. This is a little bit different compared to the Pro variant, which has a larger sensor with a 1/128 sensor size. The ultra-wide is a 30 megapixel sensor with an f2.4 aperture and a 120 degree field of view. And of course you have a 5 megapixel telephoto that also features as a macro as well. When it comes to video recording, the max is 8K and 24 frames per second, and of course you have 1080p down to 960 frames per second as well. One thing that I've noticed is that there is a little bit of color difference between all sensors. The main thing that you can tell is that the contrast is a little bit different between all of them, with the biggest offender here with more contrast on, of course, the telephoto. It's a lesser sensor, so it's something that I expected, but of course it is something that you will notice when it comes to this. If we are talking about overall performance, I will have to say that Xiaomi is doing a good job here. It goes for the more realistic and toned down look. It doesn't go for too much saturation depending on the shot. If you are looking at a flower, it sometimes can go for more saturation, but overall I will have to say that colors are actually really pleasing on the phone. It also doesn't go for too much sharpening, something that a lot of brands love to do. And no, sharpening isn't details. It's just sharpening the image that is already there. Overall, I will have to say that the main camera especially is doing a good job here.
I wasn't clear. No, it hurt you, but I still care. No, I miss you laying near. Did you wrong and it wasn't fair. If I could go back, then I would treat you better. If I could just change my words like in a letter. I did some things, but I wasn't clear. No, I did it wrong and you did it right. Yeah, that's what you said when you started the fight. We came to an end, I put up this fence. But do you really mean that this is the end? 1, 2, 3 years of silence. Then 4, 5, 6, still nothing. When my hair gets gray and I lose my shape, I'd still be missing you. Year by year, out of silence. No.
When it comes to low light, there are some things here to note as well. When it comes to the Xiaomi 12 Pro, I will have to say that that is probably so far one of the best, if not the best, in low light. It keeps the sky dark if it is dark, and of course it doesn't do too much brightness, where a lot of phones do. So how is it for the Xiaomi 12X? Sadly, it also goes for the too much brightness in the low light shots. I don't think it's bad by any means, and if you definitely prefer that, then yes, the Xiaomi 12X performs here pretty well as well. Nothing outstanding, but I still think it's overall pretty solid. However, I would have liked to see the same approach as they did with the Xiaomi 12 Pro.
When my hair gets gray and I lose my shape, I'll still be missing you. Year by year, out of silence. No, 1, 2, 3 years of silence. Then 4, 5, 6, still nothing. When my hair gets gray and I lose my shape, I'll still be missing you. Year by year, out of silence.
So, the Xiaomi 12X is, in daytime especially, a solid camera. I think 13 megapixels is fine for the ultra wide, and of course you have that 50 megapixel main sensor. I think in daytime it performs well. I really don't have any issues with it. I love that you have that Snapdragon 870 inside, but we're gonna discuss that in the full review of it. But when it comes to just daytime, it definitely compares to its big brother. Its performance quite similar. There is, however, one difference. In low light, it definitely goes for the traditional, let me brighten up the scene, where the Xiaomi 12 Pro doesn't do that as much. I would have liked to see that different on the Xiaomi 12X, where it does the same as the Xiaomi 12 Pro, keeping a night image as a night and not brightening the image up where it looks like daytime, where the sky is like this weird effect. I don't like that so much, but I think overall in daytime the Xiaomi 12X does really well. In low light it's not to my liking, but if you compare it to some other phones, I think it does pretty well here. Either way, let me know what you think about the Xiaomi 12X and its performance for the camera, because I can imagine that a lot of people are curious about it. One thing, by the way, teaser for the review about the Xiaomi 12X. This has a great battery, really great battery life. And you get a quick charger inside as well. Wow. Stay tuned for that review. Of course, if you subscribe and put that bell icon on and all that stuff, you probably get a notification, maybe potentially. And so you can see what I think about the Xiaomi 12X, but that battery life is really good. Either way, talk to you guys in the next.